The Dutch love money. And how do you get money? By trading things. So that's what the Dutch do. And they've been doing it well for centuries. The Dutch practically invented global capitalism. Back in the 1600s, they built boats and set off around the world. So was born the first multinational corporation, the Dutch East India Company. Dutchmen sailed the globe collecting spices, tea, and anything that would fit in a ship, then sold it to anyone who would buy. Why? Because they love money. And by the way, that company was enormous. Translated to today's money, at its peak, the VOC was worth $8 trillion. Take that, Nvidia. And since not every Dutchie had a ship to go voyage the world with, they also invented the stock market, so folks at home could invest in the sailors' adventures. Again, because they love money. The Dutch started making money from literally everything they could trade. And today, they're still at it. Boats got bigger, products got fancier, and instead of just spices and tea, they're moving everything from electronics and food to financial services. The Dutch economy today is worth almost $1.3 trillion. That's more than all these European countries combined. But how? How is such a small country so rich? For many reasons. One is geography. The country's tiny, half the size of South Carolina, but size doesn't matter when you're strategically located. The Netherlands is basically Europe's main entrance. It has the largest port on the continent, the Rotterdam port, and it's massive. It's so big, you can even see it on satellite photos. Cars, food, electronics, your Temu orders, oil, gas, anything you might need comes through Rotterdam. More than 400 million tons of cargo go through Rotterdam every year. That's 12% of all maritime freight in the EU, double the amount of the second place port of Antwerp. This port alone generates 29.6 billion euros to the Dutch economy every year. And if you count the jobs it creates, the total value added is more like 60 billion. And it's not just this port. The Netherlands has all these rivers that flow into Europe, and the Schiphol airport is the third biggest air cargo hub in the EU. If you buy something in Europe, there's a great chance the item has stopped in the Netherlands at some point. And then, not only do the Dutch bring in a lot of stuff, they also send stuff to the world, the fourth most. Only China, the US, and Germany export more things than the Dutch. But what can such a small country export though? Food. So much food. The Netherlands is the third largest food exporter in the entire world, and their food is high-tech. The Dutch might be dry and direct, but they are efficient. I mean, look at this land use. Not an inch wasted. Fields upon fields. And if that's not enough, how about another 10,000 hectares of greenhouses? They grow tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, you name it. Dutch farmers export almost 129 billion euros worth of agricultural products every year. And it gets more interesting. If you look at this graphic, you may notice a product that makes very little sense. Cacao. Yep, the Netherlands is the largest cocoa producer in the world. Why? Because people love chocolate, and the Dutch love money, so the Dutch sell people chocolate. And this is the whole Dutch ethos. If it makes money, it makes sense. For that, they need some external help though. The beans themselves grow mostly in West Africa. From there, 8 billion euros worth of them get imported to the Netherlands every year. Then, the Dutch make them into chocolate and other products. This is very characteristic of the Dutch. Import a commodity, refine it, and sell it as a higher value good. Ever wonder how one of the biggest oil companies in the world comes from such a small country with minimal oil reserves? The same strategy. They source oil from around the world, ship it to the Netherlands to be refined, and sell the petroleum products to the world. By the way, that Rotterdam port is also the largest oil refinery in Europe. So by this point, it's pretty evident. If there's a way to make money, the Dutch will do it. You know, if there's a will, there's a way. And if there's a trade, there's a Dutchman. Because they love money. Basically, the entire country is set up to produce as much money as possible. There's a reason why they got all these companies based there. Their idea is simple: offer the companies the best possible environment to operate in, good geography near massive European markets, and an educated population so you'll never run out of skilled workers. And the best part? Optimized tax treaties, clear corporate laws, and one of the world's most stable regulatory systems. It's kinda like a tax haven, but with better PR. Because the Dutch don't like it when you call it that. But, in essence, the Dutch promise the world, set up shop here, and we'll make sure everything runs smoothly. Or sometimes, hardly even a shop, because the Dutch also specialize in a thing called conduit activity. Sounds shady? Well, basically, a conduit is a company that's sole purpose is to be a middleman where money flows through. It doesn't produce anything, but big companies set them up so they can pay less tax while they move profits between countries. Again, sounds a lot like a tax haven.
The real question is this: was all this legal?
it is illegal. The Dutch just have a bunch of tax deals with other countries. So the way it works, say an American company earns a profit in Brazil. They can first send that money to their conduit in the Netherlands, and from there transfer it to their accounts in the US. Just reroute the money through the Dutch accounts and you pay way less tax. It's that simple. And hundreds of billions of dollars flow through these letterbox companies every year. So, do you get it now? The Dutch will sell you anything, even loopholes, because they love money. And they love having your company on their soil. The Dutch have realized if we make doing business easy, business will come to us. And oh boy has that strategy worked. 1.3 million jobs and almost $1 trillion in revenue every year. Today, a third of all sales in the Dutch private sector are generated by foreign companies. It's a good strategy. Invite the world to do business in your backyard. One could even say that they've been too successful with this model because so many people have come that they kind of ran out of housing, which is its own issue. But I guess that's the price you gotta pay for absolutely dominating global trade. Anyway, the Dutch aren't just hosting foreign innovation. They also have their own. All these behemoths are Dutch. And there's one company in particular that illustrates how crucial the tiny Netherlands is to the entire planet. ASML. The most important company you've never heard of. Advanced semiconductors, you know, the crucial building blocks of everything, literally. Phones, computers, cars, planes, data centers, satellites, AI, everything need this company because no one else knows how to do what they do. ASML is the only company in the world that builds this, the extreme ultraviolet lithography machine. It's like a printer, a very fancy high-tech precision printer that prints light onto silicon to draw microscopic circuits that become computer chips. But yeah, no one else knows how to make one. So anyone who wants to make chips needs this machine, giving the Dutch 100% market share of the most important thing in the modern world. This is what I mean. Everything flows through the Netherlands. Whether it's your goods, your tax optimization, or literally the most important supply chain in the entire world, the Dutch just find a way to be involved. Because they love money. Click here to watch another video of mine. Thanks.